We attend an assembling operation guided by AMPS, which is linked with an ERP. The process begins by the creation of an operation by the manager on the ERP. In our example, the information is sent to the technician through a tracking form identified by barcode. The necessary parts for the operation are recovered at the store, which uses the stock control to record the output movements. The technician takes the parts and can begin the service. To begin the technical operation, he identifies in AMPS by scanning his personal barcode. Then he can identify the operation using the barcode of the tracking form. The software processes the name of the operation by consulting the ERP database to determine the confirmed process and display in its recent version. The technical operation is divided by steps. The steps might follow in a linear way, form a loop, and present supplementary actions. The operative mode shows screens, which guide step by step the technician. The step finishes by validation. The technician could identify on another computer to go back to the service in another environment. AMPS displays the process of the progress step and continues to guide the technician up to the next validation. For a checking or diagnosis step, AMPS displays the reference data so that the technician could assess the state of the parts. He records the non-conformity of the parts directly in the system. In case of failure, the technician isolates the part and records his remarks. AMPS could print a non-conformity label. Always guided by the process, the technician carries out the assembly. AMPS is able to supply the precautions and security instructions so that the process unfolds in the best conditions. The technician could also use the software to record the serial number of the part which he assembled to update the tracking of the equipment. In the case of a testing step using a measuring device, AMPS checks the validity of the device when the technician scans the name. He can launch an automatic acquisition from the software. The device measures the size of the product. AMPS recovers directly the measuring data to record them in its database. When the measures finish, the technician stops the acquisition. AMPS displays the measure of the test, makes some calculations, and compares the result with the specifications. If the test is wrong, AMPS directs the technician to the adapted protocol. For example, it can display the steps to resume. In this case, AMPS records this new operation without erasing the previous. If the technician finishes his shift before the end of the operation, he can suspend it by disconnecting. If the technician has information to report, the manager can record this information in AMPS as instruction. The new technician, who continues the operation, connects in his turn. AMPS displays the instruction before guiding him to the next step. AMPS is able to adapt the content of the process in accordance with the experience level of the technician. In the case of a less experienced technician, AMPS displays additional details in the process. The validation of the last step of the process stops the technical run of the operation. At this instant, AMPS updates the state of the service in the ERP. The technical run is finished. If necessary, the manager can find all the details of the operation on the AMPS management console. He can also export this data in the form of report data or paper.